don't say anything exactly, I think people will love what's planned.
Years ago, Piggy build mode was in its prime with a thriving, highly engaged community. But after years of radio silence and neglected updates, the community burned out.
Well, here we
And most creators either spoke out or abandoned the game altogether.
And when your hand is on your heart,
Local man arrested for forgetting to update build mode. Nobody knows if he'll face any consequences.
And almost a joker indeed Epic Tank is. When build mode released back in June of 2020, people started playing Piggy not just to catch up with the main storyline, but to use their new freedom to make creative and unique maps. In the golden era of build mode, you couldn't go a day without seeing a new creator series pop up. People tuned in to watch episode premieres, and they even hosted community award shows to display their talent. Now, build mode is slowly dying after months of a complete lack of updates and communication. Today, you'd be lucky to spot a single new series even being created. Despite build mode being a place where creators poured hours and hours into maps and pushed themselves to the creative limits for years, it is now being treated as simply an afterthought. Build mode was and still is a key factor for Piggy survival as a main game. So, to be clear, this video isn't to mindlessly hate on Epic Tank. It's an analysis and a critique of his actions that led to build mode's downfall and abandonment. The community has been hypercritical of the current management, and honestly, they have every reason to be. It's been over 8 months since the last major build mode update back in November of 2025. Now, there's nothing wrong with small updates inherently, but it becomes a serious issue when those are the only updates you ever get, and even those drop months apart. There are so many simple additions, new basic blocks, small events, decorations, and logic links that could easily be added, yet they constantly get skipped or ignored. The custom bots update for bot mode and the NPC block was announced just a month before being released.
Full showcase, 100% working for this one feature. January 27, 2026. This released on February 25th, 2026.
That proved a critical point. Epic Tank can push out updates quickly when he actually wants to. It shows how easy it is to actually add something into build mode. Instead, we get additions that do nothing for long-term builders or the future of the game. A prime example was the 4th of July update, which added a single firework event block. Aside from a few hyper niche uses, the vast majority of the community found it completely disappointing. It didn't address what active builders actually needed, nor did it offer anything to draw new players back in. And to top it off, this supposed 4th of July update dropped almost 3 weeks after the holiday had already passed. If we were getting major updates in between, maybe people would let it slide. But coming off the back of a November update that also gave us only a handful of niche decorations, it showed a massive disconnect between what's being added and what the game actually needs to survive. This all stems from Epic Tank's core philosophy, that he can add whatever he wants to the game, as long as he thinks the game will benefit from it. It shows an absolute detachment from the community, and it explains exactly why players feel like they don't have a voice. This mindset leads straight into the big update trap. Epic Tank gets stuck chasing massive overhauls that probably take nearly a year to finish, while completely ignoring simple community requested drops that would keep the player base alive in the meantime. And when those updates take forever and promises aren't kept, builders start losing hope. To make matters worse, build mode's actual building system is pretty ancient. Games like Theme Park Tycoon 2 offer far more detailed building mechanics, leaving Piggy completely behind. It's ridiculous that it took 4 years just for advanced movement to get teased, features that almost every modern Roblox building game already has as a standard. Builders are literally resorting to glitches and exploits just to force standard building functionality into the game. Because we keep getting updates we don't need when we don't want them, ideas that would actually save build mode get swept under the rug. A Google Doc created by Grunt and George and Chess WN1 lays out an extensive, detailed wish list of features that should have been prioritized a long time ago. For example, first, a hostable maps list, a dedicated page complete with custom thumbnails, star ratings, keyword filters for genres like horror or showcase, and a report system to finally weed out low-effort slot maps like Piggy says or basic infection maps. Secondly, permission upgrades, features like spectating perms giving creators like ErnieC3 or hidden level no clip and free cam without building or edit rights so they can record maps safely in their full glory, and permanent blacklisting to block persistent griefers for good. Since the beginning of build mode, offsets have been a crucial mechanic for anyone looking to create a detailed, high-quality map. How builders use them has evolved over time, but they've always been the backbone of high-effort builds. Back in April of 2025, Epic became critical of offsets because they were technically an accidental feature that created messy code on the backend. But to be clear, offsets weren't broken for the players. They were a core building tool that gave build mode its unique identity. Because they were messy behind the scenes, Epic wanted them wiped out in favor of proper advanced movement. The irony is that while the community originally fought to keep offsets, years of update droughts have made builders so starved for content that they're now willing to sacrifice them for modern scaling tools, just to get anything that keeps the game alive. But even though the community's perspective evolved out of pure desperation, Epic's original stance speaks volume about his management. He genuinely believed he knew what the community needed better than the builders themselves, willing to strip away a feature that people were passionate about based on his own philosophy. Today, builders ideally want both offsets and advanced movement. And if offsets truly are too messy on the back end, then as community members like Arctic Silent pointed out, is a full build mode 2 revamp really such a crazy idea? When creators lose that last bit of hope, it triggers a vicious cycle. Builders get no new features to experiment with, the community stagnates, and YouTube videos underperform despite hundreds of hours of effort. Motivation dies and people quietly walk away. Sure, some creators leave because of school, work, or real life, but the vast majority will tell you the main reason they left is simple. The game has become completely boring without fresh content. Is creator can only be described as a one-way window. Developers like Epic operate in an echo chamber, failing to realize or outright ignoring that their lack of updates is actively destroying the game's longevity. When requests go in and radio silence comes back out, that isn't a conversation. It's been over 4 months since April 2nd when we last got an update for the next update, including CurlyFri's custom build mode game. Since then, pure radio silence. What makes this so frustrating is that Epic used to build concepts requested by Ernie within hours in his test place.
Before he was part of Piggy at all, right? I would be on live streams and I'd be like, hey, it would be cool if we had something like this in build mode. It was a block idea, right? And he'd go back and he'd go on his computer and go, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And he would, within literal minutes, he would whip up that idea and put it in his concept game.
He's already proven he has the potential to work fast when he's motivated, rather than making the community wait months for minor drops. To be entirely fair, there are real factors behind the scenes. He needs Minitune's permissions to push in-game updates and is juggling other projects like working on Jailbreak. But as Ernie and many others in the community agree, those reasons don't justify ghosting the player base. Busy schedules explain slow code, but they don't excuse complete radio silence. While we wait for CurlyFri to officially be hired and for major updates to finish, why not drop a small functional feature to tide builders over? Rolling out the race heist tool early or implementing just one of CurlyFri's features as a show of good faith would go a long way. Give the community something real to work with instead of just leaving us in the dark. For years, builders have been trapped in this cycle, but we've reached a point where it's simply no longer tolerable. Creators are burnt out, top channels have walked away, and legendary community series sit abandoned, frozen in time. Build mode was designed as a space to showcase pure skill, talent, and creativity, a place to tell infinite stories where ordinary players could feel like game developers. And the truth is, build mode still represents that potential. And even though the golden era has passed, so many creators are still so deeply passionate about this game that despite the neglect, they still choose to pour hundreds of hours into their maps. But that number is shrinking every single day. We cannot just sit back and watch this game slowly collapse. The future of Piggy relies on build mode, and right now, even build mode is on life support. If Epic Tank no longer has the time or passion to keep build mode alive, he needs to either step down from development entirely or give CurlyFri full control so someone who cares can take over.